Hey everyone, welcome to class. My name is Ramani and I'll be guiding you through this yoga flow. Today we are going to be working on our splits and I'm going to be using 2 blocks, and I don't have a yoga strap, so I'm just going to be using a belt. We are going to start in Savasana, lying down on our back, and I want you to relax the back of your head on your mat, relax your shoulders and your arms and your fingertips, relax the legs and the feet. And I just want you to take some deep breaths here. We're going to make our way into a Supta Baddha Konasana position, also known as butterfly. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees are far apart. I'm just going to rest my hands on my belly, but you can place your hands or your arms wherever you see fit. I want you to relax the hips here because the hips are a big part in getting our splits. Begin to close your knees together. I'm going to take my belt. If you have a belt or a yoga strap, now is the perfect time to grab it. I'm going to place my right foot inside of the belt, grabbing onto the belt and kind of pulling on it so that I can feel a hamstring stretch in that right leg. Now, if you don't have a belt or a strap, you can just grab onto the back of your leg. And now let's switch legs. So we are going to place that left foot inside of the belt, place that right foot back on the mat. Now, even though you're pulling on your belt or your yoga strap, I still want you to relax the head, the neck, and the shoulders. So I don't want you to feel any tension in your neck or your shoulders right now. And let's make our way back into that butterfly. This time I'm going to place my hands on my inner thighs just to give my lower body a little bit more pressure or resistance. And we close our legs, grabbing our belt or our strap, and you're going to place that right foot inside the strap again, just like you did before. And now let's switch legs. Let the belt go, release your leg from that hold, and we are going to make our way into a figure 4. Let's place that left ankle on top of the right knee, grabbing behind the right hamstring or in front of the right knee. Again, I want you to relax the upper body. You're going to feel this stretch in your outer left hip. And let's unwind from that figure 4, making your way into the same pose on the right side. And we release that figure 4, and we're going to hug the knees into the chest for a few moments, maybe rocking side to side, grabbing opposite hands, wrists, or elbows, whatever feels good to you, just taking a little bit of movement here. Now let's extend both legs up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to grab my belt again, placing both feet inside of the belt this time, and then gently pulling on the belt so now I can feel a hamstring stretch in both legs. I still want you to keep your back glued to the mat though. You can let go of the belt or the yoga strap, and we're going to open up for happy baby. So in your happy baby posture, you want to open your legs as wide as possible, bringing the knees down towards the yoga mat and taking some movement. And let's close the legs again up towards the ceiling. And now we're going to pull on the legs, but with our arms, not our arms, our hands now. So just like you did with the belt, you are just gently pulling on the legs, and you're going to feel this hamstring stretch. And maybe you go a little bit deeper here. And now let's lower the legs. We're going to pull that right knee into the chest, and I want you to take some circles with that right ankle. And then we make our way into a supine twist by guiding that right knee across the body. And we're going to bring that right arm out to the side here. We come back to center, and now let's extend that right leg up again, but now that left leg is straight. So remember, we just did this, but that left leg was bent. So now both legs are straight. We're going to take our strap again, placing it under that right foot, gently pulling on the leg here. And remember, I want you to relax the head, the neck, and the shoulders. And let's let that leg go. Now let's pull the left knee into the chest, taking our circles with our ankle, and then making our way into a supine twist. Coming back to center, we extend that left leg, grabbing our yoga strap and placing it under the foot, gently pulling on that leg. And we let that leg go. Let's pull the knees into the chest so that we can rock up the length of our spine, maybe 2 or 3 times until we get into a seated position. When you get to your seated position, let's straighten both legs out in front of you. And we are going to take a really big inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. I want you to reach for either the toes, the feet, ankles, legs. Honestly, whatever feels accessible to you is fine. All right, let's run it back. We're doing that one more time. Take a big inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And now you can either place your strap underneath the feet and gently pull on the legs, or you can also take a block underneath the feet and you can kind of like wrap your hands around the block, just pulling yourself a little bit closer towards the legs. And now let's come back up and we are going to make our way into a tabletop position on the hands and knees. In your tabletop position, the shoulders are on top of the wrists, hips are on top of knees. If you have any knee pain or any knee injuries, I want you to place a pillow underneath the knees. Let's take a big inhale for cow pose, dropping the belly low. Exhale, cat pose, round your spine. We do that a couple more times. Inhale, cow pose, drop the belly low. Exhale, cat pose, round your spine. And let's do that one more time. You take a really big inhale for cow pose, and then a really big exhale for cat pose. Make your way into a downward facing dog, and when you get to this down dog, I want you to kind of pedal the legs out, shaking the legs out, taking any movement that feels good to you. Take some little baby steps up to the top of your mat, making your way into a ragdoll pose, opening the legs, placing a gentle bend in the knees, letting the upper body just hang here, and I want you to grab opposite elbows and sway gently from side to side. You can stay there, or you can make your way into a forward fold, closing the legs together. I'm going to reach for my block and place it behind my legs just to pull myself a little bit closer to my legs. But you can also just keep the hands down, or you can keep grabbing onto opposite elbows here. All right, let's make our way back down into our tabletop position. Extend your right leg behind you, and then we are going to step our right foot in between both palms for a low lunge. Now, this is when the blocks really come in handy. If you are using blocks, you are going to place the blocks on either side of the foot or the leg. And now you can have your blocks on a very high setting, or you can kind of like lower the blocks on a lower setting. It's up to you. And if you're not using blocks, that is perfectly fine. You can always just place your hands right next to you. And now let's make our way into a half split. So we straighten that front leg and you kind of shift the hips back. That hip is going to be on top of the left knee. So try not to sit down on that left foot. You want to be upright. But if you do have pain in the knee, remember, I always want you to place a pillow or a cushion underneath. And you can always take that left hand, wrapping it around the outside edge of the right foot if you want to go a little bit deeper. All right, let's make our way back into our lunge. But this time I'm going to move the block out of the way a little bit, walk my right foot over towards the right edge of the mat, coming into my lizard pose. Now you can either stay on both palms or you can go down onto the forearms if you want a bit of a deeper stretch. And I know you're probably like, Romani, I am feeling so stiff right now. That is okay. I always want you to go at your own pace. So don't beat yourself up if you feel like you're not where you want to be. As long as you keep doing this video and you stay consistent, you will continue to get flexible. So just make sure you're being kind to yourself during this. All right, let's make our way into that half splits. All right, y'all, moment of truth. We are going into our first full split on the right leg. So I'm going to try to slide down here. Now, I have not done a split in a few weeks, so we are all trying this together. Now, you can use your blocks. If you don't want to use blocks, you can always just place the hands right next to you. All right, I am glad that this all worked out because like I said, I have not done a split in a minute. So I am glad that everything is everything. I hope you are also doing okay over there. I want you to take some deep breaths. If you feel uncomfortable, just know we are only here for a few more moments. All right, now we do this little wiggle back into our half splits and then try to make our way back into a tabletop position. And we are going to do that same thing on the other side. Extend your left leg behind you and then you step that left foot in between the palms for your low lunge. And we begin to shift the hips back for your half splits. Remember, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take that right hand, wrapping it around the outside edge of the left foot. Let's make our way into our lizard pose by walking that left foot towards the outside edge of the mat, bringing both palms on the inside of that left leg. And remember, you can stay up on the palms or you can go down onto the forearms. And half splits one more time. All right, and let's make our way into that left split. Okay, if you thought I was scared of the right split, I'm terrified of the left split. I know I haven't done a left split in a good while. So it's going to look a little different for me over here. But like I said, we just got to be patient with ourselves. The more that we stretch and stay consistent, the more that we will get down in these splits. All right, let's slide back up on out of that. And we are going to make our way into a child's pose and just relax for a few moments here. Just taking some deep breaths. Thank you so much for coming to class today. I hope that you are very proud of yourself for doing your splits. If you want to take some longer classes with me, I do teach virtually on Zoom every single week. And then I also teach in-person classes in Los Angeles and a few other cities here and there. Everything that you need is going to be on the screen and in the description box below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in our next class.